Justin, I'm so sorry you had to go through this. They ended up having 2 versions of the film. Blake Lively's version
Yes.
and the director's version. That's just mind-blowing. One of the editors was like, we're going to get through this, damn it.
I hate my life. I don't want to go to work anymore.
Exactly. Justin responds
my
like, what's best for the movie is that I suck it up and let her in. It's game over for him at this point. Lively was not satisfied with merely collaborating with the director. She wanted to be the director and see her own creative vision for the film realized. They were not even allowed to watch it. Lively shamelessly removed Baldoni out of all posters, trailers, and promotional materials. So he was erased.
Oh my god, dude.
From his own movie. It gets worse. I feel so bad for this guy. He's been brutalized. He's been abused, psychological abuse. Forget domestic abuse. This is psychological, emotional abuse.
Yeah.
This is his entire life. Justin Baldoni just unleashed this huge document.
Wait, really?
A 224-page document plus a 160-plus page timeline document.
What?
Documenting everything that happened from his side of the story.
Wow.
And, initially I was like, oh my God, both of these guys are smearing each other. It's like, it's so awful. It's Hollywood. But after reading Justin's take on everything, I'm just like, oh my God, were we wrong on this?
Explain me again. What happened?
Okay. So there's almost too much to cover in this document, but you can find he created his own website called thelawsuitinfo.com.
Oh, okay.
Where he publicly
really specific
published
domain, though.
I know. He created his own domain, he created his own website, and he had just links to these PDFs.
Oh, got it.
And it's all out there now. It's unbelievable. So there's a few things we can't go into everything.
Yeah, I mean 200 and something page.
Yeah, but this is some really damning stuff for Blake Lively, and I don't know if who knows if everything's true. I mean, I don't want to take too many sides on this, but this looks really bad for Blake.
Oh my God.
And let's just, besides all the sexual harassment stuff that she's claiming,
Sure.
The stuff that this document just basically spells out what happened during the production of the movie It Ends With Us.
Wow.
And it's literally was Blake just hijacking the entire production from modifying the script.
Oh, he did?
No, she did.
Well, I mean, sorry, she did?
Yes. She literally, at the end of the movie, she forced herself by threatening legal action and also threatening to no longer promote the film. She forced herself onto actual producer credits.
What?
Yeah. Anyways, let's get into this lawsuit right here.
That's nuts.
Okay, the general allegation. This is a funny opening line to this lawsuit. The following is not a story the Wayfarer parties ever wish to tell. Wayfarer is his studio that actually produced the movie, right? Unfortunately, Blake Lively has unequivocally left them with no choice, not only to set the record straight in response to Lively's accusations and the New York Times company's malicious and reckless propagated falsehoods. So what's crazy about this is that this is kind of a response to that whole New York Times hit piece we discussed earlier, where it had all these crazy timestamps that were dated earlier than her allegations.
The coding that you did there. Whole...
There's a bunch of internet people. I mean, I don't want to take credit. There's people who figured this out on the internet by doing some research, where they noticed like images on the New York Times article were dated before her allegations.
That is nuts.
So it was a calculated kind of a hit piece,
right?
Or so it seemed, right? Anyways, so I highlighted a few things. Lively stole Wayfarer's movie. This is his allegations, right? Lively stole Wayfarer's movie, hijacked Wayfarer's premiere, destroyed the Wayfarer's party personal and professional reputations and livelihood, and aimed to drive the Wayfarer parties out of business entirely. It further appears that Lively worked for months with the equally powerful New York Times to prepare a false and damaging narrative to deploy against the Wayfarer parties.
Dude.
Literally to destroy their reputations and livelihood.
Wow.
That's the basic allegations.
Wow.
And so
that's scary.
Yeah, and so Wayfarer responds, the Wayfarer parties now have no choice but to fight back, armed only with the truth. and a mountain of concrete evidence disproving Lively's allegations. Heartbreakingly, a film that Baldoni envisioned years ago would honor the survivors of domestic violence by telling their story with a positive impact in the world now has been overshadowed beyond recognition solely as a result of Lively's action and cruelty. That's the whole irony of this movie, right? It was actually.
I think this whole story is even better than the actual movie.
Yeah,
did.
actually, it is.
Yes,
I
saw
actually
the
saw
trailer.
this. Yeah,
I didn't saw the whole movie. I saw the trailer,
God.
and it's like, this is horrible.
It's
this
not
is
a good
fun.
movie.
This is actually fun.
This is real drama. I saw the movie and it was really confusing. It was kind of like, it was interesting, but I mean, we'll get more into this. I thought the editing was awful in the movie. It was confusing. It didn't make any sense. The ending was really ambiguous. It had no like rhyme or reason for the shots. I felt like it was just really like it was kind of like very dull and confusing, right? But the irony is that the movie was supposed to help domestic, abuse survivors,
that was
right?
the whole like behind intention.
Yeah, the whole demographic is supposed to be for like women who went through these things, like the kind of like untold story. It was based off a book, so it was supposed to be kind of a very, very like feminist kind of female empowerment movie. But now they're accusing a woman like Lively of actions and cruelty.
I'm so sorry for this. It's so bad.
Okay, so here's another bullet point, right? Lively wields immense power as one of the world's best-known celebrities. In 2024, she used that power to seize control of the film It Ends With Us, produced and co-financed by Wayfair and directed by Baldoni. She set out to destroy the Wayfair party's livelihoods and business if they did not bend to her incessant demands. And when they refused to give way, she did exactly that, accusing them of foul and reprehensible sexual misconduct. So,
Oh, nice. We have more evidence.
So-
Those are text messages? too?
well, we'll get into this. So, this is like Baldoni's kind of personal little project, right? So he worked with Colleen Hoover,
Got
who is the
him.
author of the book, and so it documents how how he reached out to her to make a movie about this her book, and she was like completely excited about it. And and one point that he mentioned in his lawsuit was that Lively had not even read the book.
Wait, what? Yeah. No way.
So
No
like
way. Okay,
Lively was brought on.
Horrible since the really beginning.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they brought her on board. She's a big star. In 2019, Wayfair acquired the film rights to Ends With Us, a Colleen Hoover novel. So you can see kind of like their emails. Like, hey, Colleen, thank you for the intro. Wow, pleasure to meet you, blah, blah, blah. And then she goes back, says, whoa, no, thank you so much for the email. I wasn't expecting you to read it so quickly. So at this point, everything is like just perfect. Everyone loves each other.
Of course.
They're all
Magic
getting
is
along.
going on there. It's the honeymoon phase of
It is
like,
the honeymoon phase.
making a
Like the
movie.
author loves them. You can see all these like text messages.
Oh my God,
going
I'm so
back
excited.
and forth. Yeah. And then suddenly, during the pre-production stage, things start to show up, right? And that seems a little unsettling, right?
The true colors.
Here's what I highlight. Lively boasted that she had even written for her husband's movies. Then Lively asked if she could take a pass at writing the rooftop scene in It Ends With Us, in which the characters Ryle and Lily first meet. You can see Baldoni was reluctant to allow an actor, rather than a union screenwriter, to rewrite this key scene. But Baldoni felt the need to allow Lively to rewrite the scene and agree to take a look at what she put together. So there's a scene where the two characters, they meet for the first time. They're on the roof, and then it's a little romantic kind of date, and it's like when they get to kind of know each other. So Baldoni is like, okay, yeah, sure, yeah, okay. We'll let you rewrite it. We'll take a look. It says Baldoni was hesitant about many of the changes, but thanked Lively for her passion and diplomatically told her that the scene would likely end up being somewhere between the original version and Lively's version. Seemingly stung by Baldoni's exceedingly mild resistance, Lively did not respond and went silent for multiple days. She was kind of pissed off by that, and she went silent for multiple days. And I thought he was being nice. He was like, okay, we can do it. We'll see what you can do. Let's see, it's like being very diplomatic about it. And then So here's another funny thing. Lively summoned Baldoni to her New York penthouse, where Baldoni was greeted by Ryan Reynolds, her husband, by the way, who launched into an enthusiastic praise for Lively's version of the scene. Hours later, as the meeting was ending, a famously close friend of Reynolds and Lively walked into the room and similarly began praising Lively's script. Baldoni understood the subtext. He needed to comply with Lively's direction for the script. Yeah. So she invites him to her penthouse in New York. And then they're like, Ryan Reynolds like, hey, did you read her script, her rewrite for this rooftop scene? Wasn't it great?
That's something
Ryan Reynolds. He's like an A-list, celebrity, right?
Of course, Deadpool.
Yeah, Deadpool. I love that. I love Ryan Reynolds. Oh my God, he's amazing.
Everybody loved him.
I know, he's such a great guy. At least I thought he was a great guy. And also, here's a funny thing. They don't mention the name about the famous close friend of Reynolds and Lively. So from what I understand, that was Taylor Swift.
Oh my God, no way.
I mean, I don't know 100% if that's true or not. That's what I heard.
They're really good friends, but a close friend?
I mean, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know if there's any facts out there.
So you're just guessing that.
No, that's what I heard. That's what I heard. Someone told me this.
Wow.
Is that true? I don't know idea.
Different level thing.
But they don't mention her name, but she said she didn't want to get involved, so I think they kind of didn't mention her. But
wow.
That's getting really deep, right?
Yep. I keep going.
And so, like, the message could not have been clearer. Baldoni was not only dealing with Lively, he was also facing Lively's dragons, quote unquote, two of the most influential and wealthy celebrities in the world who are not afraid to make things very difficult for him. So this is like a famous, quote unquote, Lively's dragons people are talking about. And this is in reference to this text message exchange.
Okay.
By the way, Justin, man, he's like literally the nicest guy in the world. And these text messages, I feel so bad for him because he's like the ultimate like nice guy, but he's really naive. Like, I don't know if he's really nice or not. I don't know, but
that's like where we can see now.
Yeah, he's like a male feminist. He's like all about female empowerment, and he's like, letting Blake like basically just walk all over him on all of these requests. But he's like, oh yeah, women power. Let's she's a woman. This movie's about, helping her kind, I guess. So it's so funny. It's like, look at his text message. It says, great. I also was working on Rooftop Scene today. I really love what you did.
That's nice.
What a nice guy.
That's nice.
She's literally rewriting a scene of his movie. And he's going, oh, I really love what you did.
Oh my God. It's like if I'm going to your house and I'm starting like, I don't know, taking over your living room.
Yeah,
like
redecorating.
Yes, the entire thing. Like, oh my God, what you did with the living room was amazing.
I love those changes. I love that white couch. Oh my God, you're so, I know. And so Blake responds like, we're in this together,
Oh, okay.
And then she also says, I have no motives except for you to win. As a director, as an actor, as a studio, as a writer, if you win, I win.
Okay.
So they're all very nice, Oh, and here's the funny quote. Okay, it says, and as for blank censored, we're thinking that's Taylor Swift. Taylor and Ryan. I don't know. Could be blank. I don't know. I'm not gonna say who it is. As for blank and Ryan, and blank for that matter, I'm the luckiest mother effer on the planet to have them as my dance moms levels. So like dance moms, like they're biggest fans. They're basically, like controlling their entire her career. These and here's their famous quote. If you ever get around to watching Game of Thrones, you'll appreciate that I'm Khaleesi. And like her, I happen to have a few dragons. Khaleesi, the blonde girl in Game of Thrones with their dragon friends?
Of course.
For better or worse, but usually for better, because my dragons also protect those I fight for.
What a weird quote, dude. That's so twist.
It's kind of crazy, right? Because she's basically saying, I have dragons. It's like a very mild threat.
Wait, what is the dragon reference? Money and power?
No, literally killing them. Because that's what in Game of Thrones. Okay, so in Game of Thrones, whenever Khaleesi has a problem, she has those two dragons.
The two dragons.
They just eat them. They just burn them alive.
Yeah, like, could be also a reference for money and power.
I mean, that's what essentially it is.
Thing.
But it's basically referencing that, I can destroy you.
Yeah.
With my dragons. I don't have to do it myself. They can do it for me.
Nuts.
I know. So difficult proved to be a gross understatement. Though Baldoni initially invited Lively to make changes to the script, Lively began altering the script daily. The frequency of Lively's revisions alarmed the producers, director, and studio, who anticipated that her interference would persist every day of the shoot and disrupt the carefully planned production schedule. Each shooting day was intricately scheduled long in advance, and Lively's constant changes placed significant stress on the production crew, not to mention financial strain on Wafer. So every day, she was making changes to the script. And look, this is a funny text exchange between a couple of the producers. It says, "Are you listening to this? She's fixing the script. I think Blake's advice was actually wrong. Blake is now directing the movie. This is bad."
Wow. Again, the same example is like I'm in your house and it's like, I don't like this table. I really don't like this
And it's your
table.
house.
Yes.
It's your house. It's your movie. It's your script. More than a year later, during a red carpet interview at the New York film premiere, Lively stated, and I actually saw the clip where there's a video of this where she actually said this. I saw this clip. "The iconic rooftop scene, my husband actually wrote it. Nobody knows that, but you know."
But that pulled right out.
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds apparently wrote the scene. And this is a big no-no in Hollywood, especially for writers. If you're a part of the writers, guild, like you don't have other celebrities or actors writing for you, right? It's like it's because like you get credited for the writing. They expect you to actually be the person who actually wrote it. And if someone's celebrity comes in there, rewrites your stuff, that's like a big faux pas. If I was a writer, I'd be really upset. That's just kind of disgusting. So that was really funny. Okay, and then the rest of the document goes into this little side bit about how Blake had this personal trainer named Don, and Baldoni hired him as well. So Baldoni had been introduced to trainer Don, who became Baldoni's personal trainer by Lively. And then, there's like sending text messages about how to work on his abs or whatever. So the reason why Baldoni actually wanted to get a personal trainer, because there was a scene or supposed scene where he was supposed to lift up Lively's character.
Oh yeah, I
heard
about it.
Like the Dirty Dancing. I don't know.
Yes.
So he didn't want to hurt his back. So he actually
because
wanted
he was
to,
previously injured.
Yeah, he has all these back issues. So he wanted to do it so that he's trained and was could do it safely. So like he asked the trainer how much Blake weighed.
Of course, I mean, valid question. Valid
because he wanted to know how, so he could literally train himself to lift that weight, right?
Exactly.
This is where it gets hilarious. On April 25th, 2023, Lively summoned Baldoni to her penthouse again, purportedly to discuss the script. However, he was met by angry Reynolds, who screamed at Baldoni and accused him of fat-shaming his wife. "How dare you effing ask about my wife's weight?"
Oh my God.
What is wrong with you? That's what he said. Oh my God. And then the confrontation by Reynolds and Lively was so aggressive that Baldoni felt he had no choice but to offer repeated, uncompleted, unwarranted apologies for what was good faith and reasonable question to ask for of his trainer. So that's pretty funny. I don't know. But you can see the gaslighting, right?
Of course.
Happening. The crazy gaslighting is unbelievable. So Lively then delivered the ultimatum. If Baldoni could not get on board with her work methods, he still had 2 weeks to recast her. So this is all under the threat that Blake could leave. This is like kind of like pre-production, and they're getting ready to shoot. And so, of course, Justin's kind of like between a rock and a hard place. Like he wants this film to be successful. He has a huge Hollywood star, but then Blake wants all these changes, and she's making all these threats, like to leave, for example.
Yeah,
is a huge one.
And don't even ask like how much I weigh.
Yeah. Anyway, so here's some more text messages. It's like the producer was like, he cannot let her have opinions on everything, Blake, or she's going to be co-directing this film. Yes. Yeah, we were talking about that a lot yesterday. Exactly. This is why everyone is starting to lose it. And then, yep, it's starting to get resolved. No, it's not. So they're going back and forth. How they can see the disaster happening already. She's going to be co-directing this film. They'll keep allowing this behavior. There was a certain point when Blake Lively wanted more, control of the production of this movie. She wanted access to the dailies. And if you don't know, the dailies is like the daily footage for that day.
Oh, got it.
Yeah. So, but again, it's kind of unusual, right, to ask that if you're an actor or an actress.
Yeah, pretty much. Just like where you want that.
Yeah. Why? Yeah. What?
Like just to control everything?
Yeah,
Like, what is
exactly.
next?
Exactly. So Baldoni shared limited scenes with Lively, feeling uncomfortable all the while. Yet he already knew that he had to bow to Lively's demands, right? Because again, she's the big star, right? He finally put his foot down, and he was like, "I don't want to send any more cuts to you," but that's when kind of things started to go downhill. Because as soon as he started denying.
Demanding. Let me do this. Let me do that.
Yeah, he's like, you know what? I'll send it to you. But he didn't actually send the actual dailies. He sent kind of live cuts.
Oh, got it.
But not like the
Like,
raw
yeah,
footage.
Don't bother me. Like,
Yeah. So it's like, and then all of a sudden there's a strike. The Act Writers Guild strike of America. And there was like all these things. So everyone took a break from production.
Right. It was a mess time.
Yeah. And then here's the bomb. After production was starting to get back into play, this is the bomb that Lively broke. She went through attorneys or lawyers, and they sent Baldoni and his production team, the Wayfair team, this confidential letter, and he published it.
Wow.
This is it. Okay. With the tentative resolution of the SAG-AFTRA strike, we are writing to address how to handle a return to the set of It Ends With Us, the film. It is no surprise to the film's producers that the experience of shooting the film has been deeply concerning on many levels.
Okay.
Many
levels.
Yeah, many levels, right? The complaints of our client and others have been repeatedly conveyed and well documented throughout the pre-production and photography. Wow. We reserve all legal rights. At this stage, our client is willing to forego a more formal HR process in favor of everyone returning to work and finishing the film as long as the set is safe moving forward.
Long story short, we're tired, dude. Let's do our job.
This is ridiculous. In order for our client to feel safe returning to production, we are attaching a list of protections that will need to be guaranteed and observed by the film producers. And this is when all shit goes to hell.
Yeah, asking more and more power.
Yeah, she sends this 17 bullet point document of things that absolutely must be observed.
A list.
All right? A list. Point one, intimacy coordinator. It's a long list. We can show you the whole list. Like limiting review of intimate scene footage to those with essential business reasons. That's another one. No spontaneous improvisation of scenes involving physical touching, simulated sex, or nudity, which must be choreographed with intimacy coordinator. So she sent a list of like all of these like crazy demands through her attorney, through that really scary kind of letter.
Kinda, yeah. Okay.
Right. And so it's kind of like all the trust is like gone at that point, right? Yeah. It's like, Blake,
you can tell.
You pissed her off. And she's gonna wreak havoc on you with. She's gonna unleash the dragons.
Oh, there it is, the reference.
She's gonna unleash the dragons. So these are all the points you can look at through the legal document. I won't go through every single one of them because they're just all. See, I think the reason why she created all these like rules is so that they would be afraid. And then if they break any single one of them, it makes them look like the bad guy. It makes Justin look like the bad guy. It's such an awful way to kind of like do production because it's like you'd be like scared shitless of this woman. Like, oh my God, if she's going to sue us. Yeah, walking on eggshells. And he's a director of this movie and with this production team. Anyway, so they finished filming all the stuff and they're ready to do editing. And so typically, when you, as a director, right, you have like 10 days to work on your editing by yourself. So you have all the creative freedom in the world. Not for Justin's case, not for this movie. Because as soon as it came down to editing, Lively requested through producer Todd Black to join Baldoni in the editing bay in his sacred space.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh my God, did something else?
Yeah. So like again, you're an editor, Diego. You do video editing, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a creative process. You have to sit there.
Sit there at my computer, trying to like make the artistic way, and then I have like this blonde lady being like, "No, don't do it like that."
Or look at it like you produce music, right? You're a music producer too. Imagine if you produce a track and you're the singer. Doesn't like your edited track.
Exactly.
Oh.
Like, here's the drop. Nope.
Here's
the violin.
So
Actually.
I know exactly. So this is what she did, okay? But here's the thing, right? Baldoni caved in. He agreed to it because he was so afraid at this point. Look, it says in February, March, Baldoni acceded to the request that Lively be let into the editing
So
process.
he basically signed the contract with their entire bullet points of requests.
Well, I mean, he caved in. He caved in. He caved into the threats, the intimidation,
Yeah, I like that word pretty much. It was intimidation.
yeah. And then you can see all these screenshots with his editors that he posted. But like one of the editors was like, "We're gonna get through this, damn it!" Like it was like this horrible ordeal. Like, and then Justin responds
my
like,
God.
"What's best for the movie is that I suck it up and let her in."
Damn.
He's gonna be a quote unquote man enough, and he's gonna suck it up, suck it up, and let her into the editing bay. And again, that's like it's game over for him at this point. You know, you can see all these like text threads of the editors like going back and forth. You know, there's like
Dude, I hate my life. I don't want to go to work anymore.
exactly. So again, like there's all these documentation. Lively was not satisfied with merely collaborating with the director. She wanted to be the director and see her own creative vision for the film realized. That's quote unquote from this document. That's the accusations against her. Again, more text message
editors.
screenshots. Says the best defense is a great movie. So one of the editors says. So I think they're the editors on these screenshots are basically kind of giving in to the idea that okay, they just have to accept it. Like she's gonna be in the editing bay. She's gonna have control.
We're already fucked.
Yeah, we're fucked already.
Yes.
Like let's just move on. Let's get the film out, and as long as you know what it's good for the film is good for us, right?
Yes. At that point, as an editor, you're like, let me just collect my check and leave.
exactly,
Leave, dude.
exactly. If it's like if you have your music track that you want to release,
And that's why the editing, you just say that.
Yeah.
That the editing is so bad. No wondering why.
yeah, the editing was awful in this movie. I'm sorry, but it didn't make any sense. The second half of the movie did not make any sense at all to me. It was really the pacing was awful. The editing was really confusing. I didn't like it at all.
Yeah,
So I
because
don't-
imagine they're doing their job, like sitting there, like in the computer editing, and while you're having someone japping you. Like, blah, blah, blah,
Well,
blah, blah. No, I don't like this.
Okay, here's another crazy thing that I heard. Someone told me is that the editor that Blake Lively hired was one of Taylor Swift's editors for her music videos.
Everything is so connected right now.
I know. I don't know if
What?
that's true or not. I heard. I don't know if that's fact. Maybe
What?
some of you guys know the truth.
Oh my
But that's what
God.
I heard. Oh my, isn't that insane? So
That's nuts.
imagine having Taylor Swift's music video editor editing your film. Oh my god. Oh, my god. And and like there's more screenshots. It's hilarious. And then one of the editors, I underlined it here. He said, "You're definitely nicer than I am." Justin has bent over backwards for her months on end. Justin's such a nice guy, but it's to his fault though.
I'm trying to like don't fall in the badness at this point.
Oh my god! So finally, on May 2024, Sony allowed her to create her own cut of the film,
Okay.
a right that is exclusively reserved for directors. Okay, and then so basically, what that means is that the editor didn't have his own cut. It was Blake Lively's cut.
Right, so
of the
it's
film.
like half and half, and then plus her own edit.
They ended up having two versions of the film. Blake Lively's version
Yes.
and the director's version. That's just mind-blowing. How does that even happen in Hollywood these days? That's unreal. I
Unless
don't-
you're a Schneider, like a Schneider cut is, dude, of course.
yeah.
Because-
If you're like really good at
Yeah.
it, oh yeah, come on, yeah, go ahead, like, edit my film.
Yeah, please.
But Blake Lively's team
All right,
edited her
WB.
own film. And here's the funny thing: Baldoni and the film's original editors in this thread, they said they were not even allowed to see her cut of the film. They were not even allowed to watch it. They had no idea what they were putting out.
Wow.
The director of the film had no idea what he couldn't even watch it. They wouldn't even let him watch the cut. Isn't that awful?
How does that work? Like until the premiere day, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh, do you like what I did? Do you like what I did?
Yeah. Well, it gets even worse, right? So like she ended up screening her version of the film to her friends only, like friends and family. And again, Justin didn't have any idea. He wasn't invited.
Oh shit.
And again, it's his studio. Imagine that, right? So this goes into like they even like fired Baldoni's original composer, with one of Taylor's like Swift's friends or something.
So that's, oh my god.
And they put a Taylor Swift song into the movie.
No way. Oh my god.
It just gets worse and worse and worse.
This is so awful.
And so Wayfair and Sony found themselves in an unprecedented and uncomfortable predicament of having two competing versions of the film.
Yeah.
One made by the film's actual director and one made by a person with no contractual or creative right to even approach the editing bay, let alone make her own cut.
What?
That's what happened. And so like they did a bunch of tests, and they found out, for example, the key demographic that they were going after, which is I guess mostly like women, on Blake's cut, it didn't really do very well.
Perform well? Okay.
Yeah, it appealed mostly to men.
Got him.
Because of course they like looking at Blake Lively, right? So they basically claimed they made her look good in the film, and they didn't actually go after their key target demo, right? And so 2 days later, Baldoni was hospitalized with a spine infection. So he was in the hospital, and he was texting all of his editors while he's in the hospital. They're just like, "Oh, get better," It's like really sad because he had a spine infection, he had a bad back.
Shit,
I know.
yes.
And then meanwhile, Lively shamelessly, while he was in the hospital, Lively shamelessly removed Baldoni, the film's co-star, director, and executive producer, whose company had co-founded the entire project, out of all posters, trailers, and promotional materials.
Way.
So he was erased
Oh my god. Dude.
from his own movie.
Oh my god.
And it gets worse. Okay.
No
So
way.
then Lively had a screening, of the movie at this Book Bonanza book festival, which is Colleen Hoover's annual convention hosting authors. Colleen Hoover, again, the author of the book itself. And Baldoni was not even invited.
Oh my god.
In fact, he was not only not invited, he was banned.
dude.
And he was not even allowed to review the final cut before it was shown
of course
officially to the world. Because that was the first time people outside of Lively's friends and family were able to actually see
right,
the
the circle. Oh my god.
Oh, and here's another text with his publicist, I believe. Just says, "She kicked me out officially from the film now. She's finishing it all. I can't be involved. Music, sound, visual effects, everything. I'll make it through somehow. Just need to feel it all."
Oh my god.
I feel so bad for this guy. And here's the
Now we understand.
he's been brutalized. He's been abused, psychological abuse. Forget domestic abuse. This is psychological, emotional abuse.
Yeah.
Might be even worse. This is his entire life.
Yes.
Like it's ending right now. His entire career is literally ending right in front of us. And here it's like, look, so this is a text thread where he's talking to his editors about the Book Bonanza. It says, "They are showing it at Book Bonanza." It says, "The whole movie? Yep, hers. Wow." Was supposed to be ours, and then I was uninvited. Whole thing is pretty cruel and intense.
Yes.
And the editor replies, "Un-effing believable." Oh, sorry, Justin. Oh my God. Isn't this awful?
Same thing.
This
Again,
is
with the
like-
example of the house.
This
Let's
is-
say you invite me to your house and then I change like the whole interior. I literally take your money. I spend it whatever I want.
Yeah.
I do my own groceries, and then I kick you out of the house.
Yeah.
And I'm living with your family now.
It gets worse. Diego, Lively was not satisfied.
She went
if
for
she
more.
wasn't awarded producer credit, now she wanted to get credit for being an actual producer.
Oh my god.
Wayfair and Baldoni initially firmly resisted, but then Sony told Wayfair and Baldoni that any goodwill left is between us is done, It's over at this point.
Yes.
They literally were forced to draft a letter because, again, Blake Lively threatened that she wouldn't promote the film. And Sony is obviously worried because they need their lead star to promote the film, right? Obviously. So they basically caved in. And Wayfarer on their official letterhead here, we are writing to inform you the significant role and contribution that Blake Lively has played in making a film. It ends with us. And basically they're saying, oh yeah, she was an instrumental voice in many ways, different aspects in making of the film. She had an active role in the edit and the sound mix and has made decisions on the music selections and score. We both feel her contributions have warranted the revised credit and consideration for the PGA mark, which is the Productions Guild, Producers Guild. So they wrote a letter and gave her what they called the PGA credits that she wanted. And oh my God.
So she made it.
She did it. Mission accomplished.
Yep. Good job. Good job, and destroyed a beautiful film.
But it gets worse. Okay. Here's the thing, right? Okay. So Ryan Reynolds is kind of cruel in this too, because he said in this, according to this, right, during the premiere of this movie, Deadpool and Wolverine, Reynolds approached Baldoni's agency, namely an executive at WME, and expressed his deep disdain for Baldoni, suggesting the agency was working with a quote-unquote sexual predator. That's when Baldoni got his crisis manager. Remember I told you about the crisis manager?
Yes.
Because he was freaking out at this point. Now they're literally calling him a sexual predator. And so that's when Baldoni started to fight back.
Okay.
And that's kind of like where in our previous video, we kind of like left off on where he was and the allegations that Lively said that he was smearing her. He was, I think, honestly, he was just defending himself. This is like
now I realize about it.
Yeah, now he's like
now
fighting
we
back.
Understand.
Unbelievable. Like how did he not even fight? I mean, he was in a hospital. It's like, it looked like he was dying and he's just getting beat down. His film is getting like hijacked, sabotaged, and taken right from under his feet. I don't blame him, honestly.
That's one of like your friends that you're never gonna invite to a party anymore.
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds, like, oh, you're not invited anymore. I'm not going to your penthouse in New York. So here's another thing, right? Baldoni, he was not invited to any cast promotional events, cast screenings, premieres, photo shoots, or other cast campaigns. Baldoni was marginalized from a marketing process. So he got deleted from any sort of the marketing. And so this is where it gets really, really weird. In July 26, 2024, for film, Deadpool and Wolverine premiered starring Ryan Reynolds. The film contained a new character named Nicepool. I don't know if you've seen the movie.
I'm still missing
the
that
Deadpool
one.
and Wolverine.
Nope,
it's a really funny, hilarious movie, right? And Ryan Reynolds portrayed Nicepool, which was I didn't know this when I watched this, but according to him, it says a vicious caricature of a woke feminist before concluding the character's arc with this violent shooting death at the hands of Ladypool, a character voiced by Blake Lively. And here's a picture. Oh. This is Nicepool.
Okay.
In the movie, he's like a very effeminate version, a nice soy boy version of Deadpool, but apparently, Justin was saying
it's
a reference to him specifically.
Straight up.
And they call him Nicepool, and the Blake Lively's character kills him.
Oh my God! That at this point it's like humiliation.
Humiliation. Okay.
Oh my God.
And so this is hilarious. This is how it all ends, right? In the credits for "It Ends with Us," Lively expressively thanked Gordon Reynolds, the false name that Reynolds used for his credit for portraying Nicepool. So if you look at IMDb, if you look in the credits, Nicepool is credited to a guy named Gordon Reynolds, which is a fake name for Ryan Reynolds. It's basically this character. But then here's the funny thing, okay? In the credits,
no way.
In the credits of It Ends With Us, Lively thanked Miss Lively, which is to expend special thanks. And she lists like Bradley Cooper, Sean Levy, and all these people. And then she mentions Gordon Reynolds.
Everything's connected. She
didn't even use Justin Baldoni's name. She thanked Gordon Reynolds.
She created her own universe of humiliation.
That's mean. That's humiliation.
Yeah.
That's next level humiliation. That's like literally just squeezing the life out of some person's last bits of like decency and human respect.
Now I feel bad for the previous episode because I didn't know the whole context. I told you, like, explain to me like I'm 4 years old.
Yeah.
Now I understand.
Now, okay, I'm gonna tell you again. It gets worse. Okay, so now let's go through the premiere of the movie. Okay, this is hilarious. Okay.
Oh my god.
So Baldoni didn't even know he was able to go to the premiere of his own movie until the very last second.
Imagine that.
Yeah, they wanted to basically ban him, but finally Sony convinced Blake Lively that he should go. So at the last second, him and his family and friends were able to go to the premiere, but with a catch. Okay.
What is the catch?
Okay, Baldoni and the Wayfarer team, along with their friends and family, to attend, though only under demeaning and humiliating conditions. They were relegated to a separate theater to view the film, required to arrive at a different time than the rest of the cast, instructed to leave the red carpet immediately once Lively arrived. Baldoni was also excluded from the official celebrity after party, despite it being an event ultimately paid for by Sony and Wayfarer, which is his company. As a result, Baldoni had to quickly organize and fund a separate after party for himself.
Oh my god!
So he had to organize his own separate after party.
It's celebrating your own birthday.
Yeah,
it's like everybody's celebrating your birthday and you're not invited. You're not invited.
Yeah. So look, at the time on the red carpet was abruptly cut short when it was conveyed that Lively was on her way, and he was instructed to stop immediately. He and his family were quickly ushered away. Security personnel, including acting as though there was a risk of escape, escorted Baldoni's group to the basement of the building.
What?
They were confined to a makeshift holding area surrounded by concession stand stock and fold out tables and chairs.
Oh my god.
and to document this, look, there's actual pictures. This is a picture. Look.
Oh my god, dude.
This is him and his family and friends at his premiere in the basement. In the basement.
God.
And look, they even took a picture of themselves next to the water bottles and pallets. And there's Justin right there.
No way. Oh my god.
This is all true. This is unbelievable.
This is the worst type of humiliation that I ever seen in my life.
Oh my god. It goes on and on. There's all this sorts of, there's even more receipts in this document. It's just hilarious.
Wow.
So all I can say is, man, oh my god, once again, I'm sorry, Justin.
Yeah,
I'm
stop,
sorry.
please. Stop. It's too much.
Exactly.
So much. We have feelings too. He has feelings too.
Yeah, I think he was just abused in so many ways.
Bad. Physically,
emotionally, psychologically. Yeah. Oh my goodness gracious.
The whole pack.
This is some of the worst Hollywood drama I've ever seen in my life.
Yep.
So, anyways, I guess maybe we were wrong about this. I mean, I don't know. Who knows the truth except for, he definitely has a lot of documentation.
But it's a good
this.
beef.
It's
really good beef.
It's a gift that keeps on giving. Apparently, the story. This is just unbelievable. Hollywood is effed, man.
Yes.
I don't know. I would not want to be in Hollywood and work with anybody.
No,
I would not want to work with Blake on to be.
Hell no.
Oh my god.
Not with people like that.
I don't know how her career is going to continue on after this crazy expose. But we'll see what happens. Court date is next year in March, so we'll see. The more drama.
Yep. Do you think like this is gonna be the new thing, like kind of like celebrities on trails and everything? Like for example, when it was the Johnny
Depp, Amber Heard, yeah, and you got
the
Diddy.
new reality show.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe Hollywood. The thing is, like, Hollywood has always been dark, and people have always told me that it's a very dark industry. I think people are finally starting to shine light on it a little bit, and you're seeing why a lot of people in Hollywood are very they have a lot of trauma. Because that's why they get into Hollywood, right? If you want to be famous, like, it's because, again, I have a psychologist girlfriend, and she told me about this. And she's a therapist, and she's dealt with really kind of like these vulnerable narcissist type of people, and where it's like you lack so much love in your childhood, you seek it so much that you seek out Hollywood because you want all this fame and
Yes, and
adoration
attention.
right? And
Yeah.
then, but
Wow.
and Hollywood is
sense.
filled with people like that, unfortunately.
Yep.
So be careful out there, man. Oh my God, I would not want to be in this industry at all.
I don't need that attention.
Exactly. I don't
Fuck
need it.
that.
I'm fine.
Yep.
I'm fine sitting here by myself. All right, guys. Thank you for joining us. Until next time, let's keep up on this story. This is crazy. See you guys later. Bye.